Welcome to the Appliance Repair Academy. Today we are covering the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ French door refrigerator and one of the most common repairs on this platform, the water inlet valve, part number W10408-179. This dual solenoid valve controls all water flow into the refrigerator. One solenoid feeds the ice maker, the other feeds the water dispenser. When it fails, you will see no water at the dispenser, no ice production, or both. You may also find water dripping inside the fresh food compartment if the valve fails in the open position. This is a highly repairable, well-documented job. No special tools, about 20 minutes of labor, and a part that costs under $40. Let us get started. Before we begin, gather your tools and review safety. For this repair, you will need a 1/4-inch nut driver or socket, a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, needle nose pliers for the quick connect waterline fittings, a small bucket or towel to catch residual water, and a digital multimeter to verify the solenoid coils. Safety is always first. This refrigerator must be unplugged before you begin. Close the water supply valve at the wall before doing anything else. Water and electricity together are extremely dangerous. Apply your LOTO tag to the power plug. Do not start until both energy sources, electrical and water pressure, are isolated.
Step 1. Lockout tagout. First, close the water supply valve at the wall behind the refrigerator. Turn it clockwise until it stops. Then unplug the refrigerator from the wall outlet. Do not use a power strip switch. Physically remove the plug. Apply your LOTO tag to the plug. Per OSHA 29 CFR 1910.147, all energy sources must be isolated before service. On this model, water is an energy source just like electricity. A pressurized water line can spray forcefully if disconnected without shutting off supply first. Once both the water valve and the power plug are secured, place a folded shop towel under the work area. Water will remain in the lines and will drain when you disconnect them.
Step 2. Confirm the diagnosis before ordering the part. The water inlet valve on the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ is the primary suspect when you see no water from the dispenser, no ice production, or both. Start by verifying the water supply valve at the wall is open and water pressure is present. Next, check that the dispenser control lock is not engaged. Hold the lock button 3 seconds to toggle it off. If those pass, test the inlet valve solenoids with a multimeter set to ohms. A healthy solenoid reads between 200 and 500 ohms. An open reading, OL, on the display means the solenoid coil is burned out and the valve must be replaced. A shorted reading near 0 ohms also indicates failure. Test both solenoids, primary ice maker coil and secondary dispenser coil. Step 3. Pull the refrigerator from the wall. With both the water valve and power plug secured, slide the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ straight out from the wall. These units roll on front leveling feet and rear rollers. The front feet may be slightly raised, which makes moving easier. Pull straight out to avoid kinking the water supply line. You need at least 24 inches of clear working space behind the unit. Place a cardboard sheet on the floor behind the refrigerator. This protects your flooring and gives you a clean surface to kneel on while accessing the lower rear compartment. The inlet valve is located at the lower left rear of the refrigerator, behind the access panel. Step 4. Remove the rear lower access panel. At the bottom rear of the refrigerator, you will see a black rectangular panel. On the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ, this panel is secured by 2 Phillips head screws, one on each side. Remove both screws with your Phillips screwdriver and set them on your shop towel. The panel pulls straight back and then down to release. Set it aside on the cardboard. With the panel off, you now have access to the compressor compartment and, on the left side, the water inlet valve assembly. The valve is a white or gray rectangular plastic body with waterline connections on the inlet side and two outlet lines running up into the refrigerator body. Step 5. Locate the water inlet valve. With the access panel removed, look to the lower left rear of the compressor compartment. The water inlet valve, part number W10408179, is a white plastic housing, approximately 3 inches long, mounted to the rear frame with one screw. You will see 3 waterline connections, one larger diameter inlet fitting where the household water supply line connects, and 2 smaller diameter outlet fittings, one leading up to the ice maker and one leading to the dispenser. You will also see 2 electrical connectors plugged into the solenoid coils on the back of the valve. Study the layout and take a photo with your phone before disconnecting anything. This is your reassembly reference. Step 6. Disconnect the household water supply line. The supply line connects to the inlet port of the valve at the bottom. On most Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ installations, this is a 1/4-inch compression fitting or a push-to-connect quick-connect fitting. For a compression fitting, use a small wrench or pliers to hold the valve body steady while you loosen the compression nut counterclockwise. For a quick-connect fitting, press the collar ring inward with your thumb and pull the tubing straight out. Have your small bucket or folded shop towel ready. Water in the supply line will drain out. Once the line is free, cap the tubing end with a rag or allow it to drain into your bucket. Step 7. Disconnect the 2 refrigerator side outlet water lines. These are the lines that carry water from the valve up into the refrigerator body. On the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ, these are typically 1/4-inch push-to-connect fittings. Press the collar on each fitting inward and pull the tubing straight out. There are 2 lines, one for the ice maker supply and one for the dispenser supply. Label them with a marker or tape if needed. Consult your reference photo to confirm which is which. Some residual water will drip from these lines. Have your towel ready. Do not pull on the tubing itself. Always push the collar ring to release the locking clip before pulling the line. Step 8. Disconnect the wiring harness connectors. The water inlet valve has 2 electrical connectors, one for each solenoid coil. Press the locking tab on each connector and pull straight out. Do not yank the wires. These connectors are typically a 2-pin or 3-pin plug. Note which connector goes to which solenoid port. Again, your reference photo is important. On the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ, the connectors are often color-coded or keyed, so they only fit one way. But confirming with a photo before disconnecting saves troubleshooting time on reassembly. Once both connectors are free, the valve is held only by its mounting screw. Step 9. Remove the mounting hardware and slide the valve out. The water inlet valve is secured to the rear frame bracket by one screw, typically a 1/4-inch hex head or Phillips head. Remove this screw with your nut driver or screwdriver and set it on your shop towel. Once the screw is out, the valve slides or lifts free from the bracket. On the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ, the valve may have a tab that hooks into a slot on the bracket. Lift slightly, then pull out. The valve is now fully free. Set it aside on your shop towel. You now have clear access to the bracket and all connection points for installing the new valve. Step 10. Compare the old valve to the new part W10400879. Place both side by side on your shop towel. Verify that the inlet port size, both outlet port sizes, solenoid connector positions, and mounting tab or hole pattern are identical. The new valve should be a direct match. If you ordered a kit, it may include new rubber washers or O-rings for the compression fitting. Use them. Also, inspect the old valve for mineral deposits or scale buildup on the inlet screen. A clogged inlet screen can cause low water flow without complete valve failure. Shake the new valve gently to confirm no loose internal components before installation. Step 11. Install the new water inlet valve. Part number W10408179. Position the new valve onto the rear frame bracket. If there is a tab, hook it into the slot first, then align the mounting hole. Install the mounting screw finger tight first, then snug with your nut driver or screwdriver. Do not over-tighten. This is a plastic housing and the threads strip easily. Snug is sufficient. Confirm the valve sits flat against the bracket with no twisting. The inlet port should face toward the floor or wall where the supply line comes in. Both outlet ports should face upward toward the refrigerator interior. Check your reference photo to confirm correct orientation before connecting any lines.
Step 12. Reconnect the wiring harness connectors. Match each connector to its correct solenoid port using your reference photo. Press each connector firmly onto the solenoid terminal until the locking tab clicks. Give each connector a tug to confirm it is seated. It should not pull free with light finger pressure. A loose wiring connection on a solenoid is a very common cause of repeat no water complaints after a valve replacement. Both connectors must be fully clicked in before you reconnect any water lines. Take a final look at the connector orientations. They should match exactly what you photographed before disassembly.
Step 13. Reconnect the two refrigerator side outlet water lines. Push each tubing end firmly into its push-to-connect fitting until you feel and hear it click into place. On the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ, the ice maker outlet line is typically the one routed toward the upper left, and the dispenser line routes toward the center top. Refer to your photo. After pushing each line in, tug it firmly outward. It should not pull free. If it pulls out easily, the collar lock did not engage. Push it in again until the click. A loose outlet line will cause a water leak inside the refrigerator cabinet and is a common installation error. Step 14. Reconnect the household water supply line and open the supply valve. For a push-to-connect fitting, push the quarter-inch tubing straight into the inlet port of the new valve until it clicks. For a compression fitting, slide the compression nut onto the tubing first, then insert the tubing into the port and tighten the nut clockwise, finger tight plus a quarter turn. Do not over-tighten. Now, slowly open the water supply valve at the wall, turn it counterclockwise one full turn, and pause. Watch the supply line connection and the valve body for any drips. If you see a drip, close the valve, tighten the fitting, and recheck. Once no leaks are visible at the valve, fully open the water supply valve.
Step 15. Reinstall the rear access panel. Pick up the panel and insert the bottom lip into the lower frame slot first. Press the panel flat against the rear of the refrigerator and align both screw holes. Reinstall both Phillips head screws finger tight, then snug. Do not over-tighten. Confirm the panel sits flush with no gaps around the perimeter. Before you slide the refrigerator back into place, crouch down and visually inspect the new valve and all water line connections one more time. Look for any drips at the inlet fitting, both outlet fittings, and the valve body itself. This is your last chance for a visual check before the unit goes back against the wall.
Step 16. Restore power and perform the functional test. Slide the refrigerator back toward the wall, leaving at least 2 inches of rear clearance for airflow. Do not crimp or pinch the water supply line when pushing back. Remove your LODO tag and plug the refrigerator into the wall outlet. Set the refrigerator controls to normal operating temperatures, 37 degrees Fahrenheit for fresh food and 0 degrees Fahrenheit for freezer. Dispenser test. Press the water dispenser paddle and run water for 30 seconds to purge air from the new lines. The first dispense may sputter. This is normal. Ice maker test. Confirm the ice maker arm is in the down position and the ice maker is switched on. The first fill cycle should occur within 15 minutes of power restoration.
Pro tips from the field. Tip 1.
Always purge the lines before handing off the repair. Dispense a full glass of water and discard it after replacing an inlet valve. The first draw clears air and any debris from the new valve body. Tip 2. The ice maker will not produce ice for 12 to 24 hours after a water supply interruption. Set expectations with the customer before you leave. Tip 3. Return at 1 hour after power restoration and check all valve connections for slow drips. Water leaks are easier to find at 1 hour than immediately after startup when pressure is first applied. Tip 4. If water flow is correct but slow, check the inlet screen on the new valve for debris. Tip 5. On Whirlpool French door units, a frozen water line in the door can mimic an inlet valve failure. Verify flow at the valve first.
Repair complete. The Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ is back in service with the new water inlet valve, part number W10408179. For further reference, consult the Whirlpool WRF535SWHZ Use and Care Guide and tech sheet available from Whirlpool's official product support website. All safety practices in this lesson follow OSHA 29 CFR 1910.147, Control of Hazardous Energy, Lockout Tagout, and NFPA 70E, Electrical Safety in the Workplace. Any sealed refrigeration system work involving refrigerant requires an EPA Section 608 certified technician. Thank you for training with the Appliance Repair Academy. Stay sharp, stay safe, and keep building your skill set one repair at a time.